Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Chevalier, where we are here to help men and women find happy, healthy, and long-term relationships. And like always, it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, South American, or even the penguins in Antarctica. Because at the end of the day, I think it's pretty fair to say that everybody's seeking some form of love, whether they want to call it friends with benefits, situationships, sneaky links, and all these other things that who knows what they mean. But I think at the end of the day, one of the most valuable prompts that has, I think, made dating difficult for any and everybody is dealing with pain, dealing with trauma, and dealing with the hurt of losing someone who you loved and no longer wants to be with you. And I think so often men deal with this on a more detrimental level, because 80% of relationships and divorces are filed by, or relationships are left by, women. Now, this is not one of those attack videos where we get on what women are doing wrong, because that's the opposite of what Chevalier does. What we do is speak the facts, and then we talk about the facts to build the relationships we want with the women we want to be with. And so often, gentlemen, we get hurt by the women who we feel the attachment to, we spent a lot of money on, we've invested a lot of time and effort, and for whatever reason, she doesn't want to be with us. And so when we go through that pain and suffering, emotionally, there's a period of time in which you have a discontentful nature for not just that woman, but for all women. And we start to say things like, these women ain't this, these women ain't that, all these women want is money, these women are gold diggers. We tend to suffer from our own pain and suffering, where we tend to inflict that same level of pain and suffering onto women who hadn't done anything to us to harm, hurt, or to offend us. And this is why one of the most important things I talk about with young men is therapy. Now, when I say therapy, it doesn't always have to be the clinician, doesn't always have to be professional. Therapy could be talking to a friend, someone you trust, a family member, someone you associate with, someone who you can open up and that can give you good advice on the best ways to heal from the pain and suffering of losing a woman you loved and appreciated, especially if she left you for someone else. We hold this anger in, we hold these feelings and frustrations in, but we never really deal with them in a manner that allows us to move on. So what ends up happening is we end up holding on to this hurt, and then we end up basically giving it to the next person. So the next woman ends up having to suffer from the pain that the last young lady caused us. And too often when we hold on to that pain and that hurt, we inflict it on the same person, we inflict it on someone who didn't do it to us, and then it makes it worse. And so it makes dating difficult, because you end up with this stream of anger, continuously bottling up this pain that's keeping you from meeting the woman you want to meet. And you end up developing more hatred as you go down the line, and it gets worse to the point where it manifests itself where sadly and unfortunately, somebody is put in a situation where they're not able to progress any longer in dating, whether it's from a horribly traumatic experience or someone getting hurt to the point where they're not able to proceed in dating anymore. So as men, we need to heal. We need to talk to someone. We need to get that anger and frustration out, whether it's at the gym, whether it's fighting with the homeboys just for the heck of it. And what I mean by that is like boxing, kickboxing, judo, some form of martial arts, whether it's sitting down and talking to someone, whether it's finding a basketball or some favorite activity, physical nature, to get the frustration out. But going through therapy, gentlemen, and having someone to talk to is very important. So that way we can carry on healthily for the purpose of a happy, healthy, and long-term relationship. Thank you all. Until the next time, peace. We are gone.